Sam, that second quarter seemed to really swing the game. What can you guys do, I guess, to better stabilize those minutes?
Yeah, sometimes it just gets away from you quick. We had a bunch of turnovers there. Didn't rebound very well in the first half. I think it was a little better in the second half, but that was the big thing, was those turnovers. Jenkins hits a bunch of threes, and they were able to come up with some of the loose balls and make that run there. So sometimes I think a sign of a really good team is being able to recognize. We can all recognize when a team's on a run, but find a way to limit that. And tonight we weren't able to do that.
So trailed by, 13 with under 5 to go. How do you view this game? Obviously, you come back, but it was just not enough late there.
Yeah, I mean, we battled. That's a really good team. We feel like we're a really good team, and we threw some punches. They threw some punches, and we definitely battled there at the end. Just wasn't quite enough, and that's when you look back at their big second quarter, and some of the mistakes you make at this level against really good teams. Your little mistakes get maximized, and we probably had a little too many of those today.
You guys have such good success when you guys get into transition. How do you maintain that identity when teams want to muck the game up and slow it down?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Like that's one of the big questions, and they're one of the best at being super physical and like you said, trying to muck the game up. And it's like you said, it's getting the ball out quick and going, and sometimes you just got to rely on the pass. And not that we're playing selfish or isoing, but sometimes you got to rely on swing, and then try and create closeouts that way. And that's something we've worked on and stressed. I think we've gotten better with that. So it's something we need to continue to work on. Just that's how I think. And I may be wrong, but that's how I think. When you got these teams that pressure and blitz pick and rolls and all that. That's a way to get them spread out and get them into closeouts and play out that way.
Kenny mentioned that you're going through a lot physically right now, and I think you've had 4 or 5 different injuries listed throughout this year. Just where are you at physically at this moment?
Great. We're all battling through something right now. So I never take any opportunity to play for granted. So I want to be out there as much as I can, and that hand injury, missing as much time as I did was, aside from a few years ago when I had my ankle stuff and I wasn't really playing, so it didn't feel the same. It was the most time I've missed. That was really frustrating. So we all got stuff going on, so just try and take advantage of every opportunity I can to play.
How do you build or maintain rhythm when you have to come in and out because of injuries? And obviously tonight you got it back into your rhythm. How do you maintain that?
Yeah, you just got to rely on your work and trust the work that you've put in. And, I don't think, you work so hard in the summer so that, you don't have to maybe shoot as many shots on an off day as maybe you feel like you need to. Our staff does a great job of giving us the opportunities to still get our work in, like you said, and get our rhythm while also taking care of our bodies.
And a good Pistons team all year. How close do you feel like this group is to being on that tier?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have all the talent, all the skill set, and I absolutely feel like, we're not playing at the level that maybe they're playing right now. I mean, you are what your record says you are at this point, but I do think we are starting to play to the level that we know we're capable of. And there's ups and downs in a season, and sometimes the downs are a little longer than you'd like. But I feel confident about where we're going and feel like we're doing a lot of the right things, and we'll just continue to grind and think we'll hopefully keep getting better and better.
Donovan, I know after last game you talked about wanting to put it all together for all 4 quarters, but that second quarter there clearly swung the game. What are you seeing in second quarters? How do you guys better stabilize those minutes?
Can't get laxed. We started off well. That's an energy changer, right? And then you got to play catch up, right? You know what I mean? I think whether it's communication, coverages, rebounding, whatever that is, we gotta come out better in the second quarter, and then finish the half better. I mean, it's been different things in different instances, but I think to have to play catch up in the whole second half is definitely tough.
How do you view this game? Right? I mean, you trailing 13, under 5 to go, almost can seal it there in the end, but come up short. How do you view it?
We had 2 mistakes. I had a turnover. We had a missed block out. You know what I mean? Those are things that kill you, no matter, how much effort and time you put into coming back. And I mean, we're always going to fight. There's always that, but we should have won this game, and we didn't, and that's on us.
Donovan, you guys have built up success when you guys get out into transition against teams that like to muck it up, like this team, the Houston Rockets. How do you maintain doing that when they want to change your style of play?
That's just the mental fortitude of pushing through that. Whether you're tired, whether they hit a couple shots, you got to be able to continue to push the pace. I forgot what game it was. We didn't end up doing it. I think it was New York, maybe. And that changed the whole thing. You're getting away from what got us that lead. And teams don't want to do that because they don't want to run with us. You know what I mean? So we all have to be better at that. Make hammering home. Like, look, we got to find a way to get out in transition, no matter makes or misses, and not let the makes kind of stagnate us, or let the physicality stagnate us, or the whistle as well.
Some of the turnovers of the last couple of games have been really costly. What do you think is leading to that? Kenny said it might be a spacing thing that he might try to draw up or something.
That, and then I think also decision making. I mean, I think it's trying to do the right thing. It just sometimes that's when the spacing comes into play, but also sometimes it's just dumb things.
This has been a good Pistons team all season. There's a reason why they're first in the conference. Do you feel like you're close to that level?
I think we are getting that way, getting there. We have to show it on a consistent basis, and we've been doing it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to just jump ahead and say we're there. We got to continue to work to be there. We have the talent, we have the capability, we know what we have. Now we got to go out there and do it, and we have been. But nights like tonight, it stagnates your trajectory. And obviously, progress is not linear, right? You're not just going to jump straight. You're going to have these hurdles and all those different things. But I think for us, we got to just be consistent. They have an identity, right? They know what they are every night. You know what I mean? And I think for us, we know what our identity is, but sometimes we get away, sometimes we get back to it. Right? That's part of that consistency. So, like I said last game, we got some things to clean up, and we'll be better.
You said identity. How much of that is impacted by the fact is you roll the starting lineup tonight. That's your 19th of the season. It's tied for. I know you don't like excuses. I'm going to tell you anyway. It's tied for the most in the league with Indy, who you guys face next.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely inconsistency, right? But at the end of the day, you still have something you fall back on. You know what I mean? And for a lot of the year, it was like, man, our effort is down. And it was our defense is down. And it was our offense is down. Like, there's 3 different things, and now we're starting to piece it together and figure it out. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough when there's no consistency out there, when you know what's coming in. I think one of y'all asked me the other day, like, roles are going back to normal, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's definitely tough when things switching, but at the end of the day, this was a winnable game for us. We've been playing, solid basketball, and we should have won this game.
What is this team's identity?
We're a defensive first team that gets out in transition. And, when we're at our best, I mean, Evan had 4 blocks tonight. We did a lot of things well, but we just didn't either convert or we just, didn't stay locked in for 48 minutes. And Dennis Jenkins is a hell of a player. And I'm not saying this to disrespect him in any way, but him having 7 of 7, like, on our mistakes. Some of it he hit tough shots, and credit to him, but sometimes we like, I had one, I think Craig had one, DG had one, like, that's 9 points right there, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's tough.
Last week of half, Kenny's kind of said that the points of emphasis of rewarding the bigs for what they're doing on defense. Why do you feel like there's been kind of an inconsistency there? Because some games, you obviously get it down there, and sometimes it's just not going that way.
I think it's twofold, right? I think as much as we want to get it to the bigs, I think teams are starting to see that that's part of it. So when you're on the pick and roll and there's 3 guys in there, making sure you can't throw the ball, you know what I mean? Or if you try to get a post up and, and they come and help, now it's like, all right, the next option is to swing, right? So, I think it's a little bit of both. I think teams understand how crucial they are to our success. As much as it is us hitting them in the pocket. I think even with TB, like, they were trying to blitz and TB was getting out, but Isaiah Stewart was doing a good job of keeping a body on him, right? So then it's on our bigs to get separation. Then it's on our guards to make the right pass. Like, so it all has to be connected. But, as much as you were saying it, they know, the other team knows, like, hey, make sure Ev doesn't get this ball right here, make sure Jay, and now we're swinging, now we're trying to play in closeouts, and it works sometimes, but there's a balance, and we're continuing to figure it out and get better at it.
Earlier in the season, you seemed excited for this group to battle through adversity. Are you still in that same space right now?
I mean, yeah, I don't think excited is the word anymore, but I think this is going to help us. I mean, these are situations that at least now we have stuff to look back on and kind of go from there. But yeah, this one hurts because we, understand that. Look, this is it's time, right? But yeah, every time you lose, there's something to learn from it, and you take it and go from there.
You mentioned it being a defensive first team. Do you feel like a defensive first team?
At times, and I think that's the issue, right? Like, there are times in the stretches where it's like, man, this is who we are, stops and run. And then there are times where we don't, and that's part of the inconsistency. And that's correlated to so many things, right? There's so many things that go into that. But we're doing a lot of things. We're trending upwards, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm always, the guy who's like, look, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, like, let's continue to have that. And tonight just wasn't that, but we're getting there. We're hanging in there, and we're continuing to find ways to improve.
How much did Jared miss? How much did you guys miss Jared for this game in particular?
I mean, he's big time. I mean, I think, especially it's tough when Evan gets 2 fouls start the game, right? And then it kind of puts him in, kind of a space where he's like trying not to foul, trying to be aggressive, trying to be himself. Obviously Jay's presence is huge for us, whether it's on the defensive end or the offensive end. On the rebounding, I think we lost the possession game by 10. Obviously turnovers are part of that, but we only lost that possession game by 1. So I think a lot of those offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds or whatever. But he's a big part of what we do, and not having him out there, and Dean as well. Having those 2 guys out definitely changes the game. And but we're still capable to win a game like this, and we should have, and that's on us.